What's up guys, welcome back here. Today I'm making another video, and in this video I got my second mock draft where we're still going to be just doing the lottery. Probably my next mock draft video I'm going to be doing the whole first round, but for now we're just going to have my lottery. And I use TradeNBA.com to determine the order, and that helped me decide which player I was going to draft. I took a while to decide on who it was going to be, so the order may not be the same anymore, but I already have it down in my notes, and I'm ready to tell you my second mock draft that I've updated. But if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, comment down below any videos you want me to do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel at 83 right now. Try to hit 100 soon. But now let's get started. The first pick in the draft will belong to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and with that pick, they will be taking Jalen Green from the G League. I feel like you're gonna get mad for me not taking Cade, but I feel like the Wolves are content with their point guard right now with D'Lo, and I feel like getting a true two guard. And then you can move Anthony Edwards to the 3 spot, even though he's pretty undersized. I think he can be able to hang with the top dogs, as he's shown with his high athleticism, that he isn't scared of no one. Jalen Green also provides that athleticism. He's only been an average defender, which you don't really need a superstar defender, even though I think the Wolves could really like one. I think they really need one. I think they just need a really good fit next to D'Lo, and I feel like Jalen Green's complete offensive game with solid defense could be really nice. As Edwards, you got D'Lo, you got Green, you got Cat, then you find that power forward, which made me trust in this team because I thought they would find a power forward. But if they can find a power forward to complete with the starting 5, that could really be a nice young team that you gotta watch out for. And he's been valued pretty high, but many people had Cade going over him. But I think just because of a better fit than Cade would really be, even though Cade's 6'8", I just feel like Jalen Green would be the better fit. The second overall pick goes to the Pistons, and even though they do have Killian Hayes, they will not hesitate to take Cade Cunningham. They just need the best player available, and I think they'll just try to find a way. With Killian Hayes' high IQ, I feel like they can make a way to play Cade at the 2 with his bucking-getting ability. I feel like it'll be tougher with D'Lo, because D'Lo is more of an ISO guard. I feel like Cade Cunningham will get so many opportunities to create his own shot in Detroit. I feel like that would be the best fit for him. 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, super high athleticism, and just knows how to score the ball. And he has amazing handles. And if you need him, he can guard the 1 through 3. And just his talent is just so nice. And he can immediately help impact the Pistons. They probably won't be the playoff team or something because they're the Pistons. They could be an okay team. With his upside being super high, I think Pistons fans will love this pick. The third pick in the draft will go to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they'll be selecting Jonathan Kuminga, also coming from the G League. And he's probably my favorite prospect just because of his athletic ability, along with being such an elite defender. He could possibly be the best defender in this class. And he has so much athleticism, but the problem will be his offensive game, as he isn't really much of a complete offensive player that people really thought he could be. But in the G League, he's been solid offensively. Yes, he's been the leading scorer on his team, even more points per game than Jalen Green's averaging right now. And I feel like if he's continued to develop his offensive game with his defensive ability, his stock is just going to keep rising. And the Cavs getting a lockdown defender next to Garland and Sexton could be much needed. And potentially a Love replacement with Okoro and Kuminga defensively, that could be really nice. Add Jared Allen along to that, you got a scary defensive trio. The fourth pick is going to go to the Washington Wizards, and they'll be selecting Evan Mobley out of USC. And I feel like they need this pick because Evan Mobley is probably a top 3 prospect in this class. Between him, Cade, and Jalen have all been getting considerations as being the first overall pick. And you really don't need Cade or Green, and they're probably gone from the board. You could make a case for Jalen Suggs, but you really don't need that when you have Westbrook and Beal, 2 top guards in the league. I feel like getting a big where Thomas Bryant just came off major injuries, so you don't know how he'll look. Mo Wagner, Alex Len, Robert Lopez, they're nothing special. I feel like getting Evan Mobley could be a really huge piece to the Wizards, and potentially having to rebuild just in case Bradley Beal demands a trade sometime soon. You got Russell Westbrook not getting any younger. I think getting a young big in Evan Mobley who can really impact now. And even though he's not like a super strong center that you'll really want, he has a high IQ. He's able to handle the ball. He's versatile. And he's an athletic big that you'll really want. Russell Westbrook will have a very fun time throwing lobs to this dude. The 5th overall pick will belong to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They'll be selecting Jalen Suggs coming out of Gonzaga. I feel like this pick will be perfect paired next to Shai because of his high playmaking ability. He's the point guard that just a lot of teams will want. He's able to shoot the ball and he's able to score in so many different ways, even outside of just shooting the ball. He's able to attack, but he's always looking to find that open teammate when you need him. His jumper is nice. He's versatile. And he's an aggressive player that you'll just really want. Some people even have him as their best prospect in the class right now, which is surprising to me. I think he has the potential to be a top 3 player in this draft class. I don't know if he'll be able to be the best, but I think his playmaking next to Shai will be such a scary backcourt. And I feel like they'll have a really fun time in OKC with a backcourt like that. The 6th overall pick belongs to the Sacramento Kings. They'll be selecting Jalen Johnson coming out of Duke. This may be a slight reach because of him wanting out because the team's losing and he's not getting much playing time. But I think he could still be a really good NBA prospect with his athleticism, and his IQ is decently nice. He's able to defend pretty well. He has a nice post-up and mid-range game. He's not the most consistent three-point shooter, but that's something he's really working on. And his versatility could be really nice offensively and defensively, and he could easily be the Harrison Barnes replacement to build on that young core of the Sacramento Kings that looked really bright after adding Tyrese Halliburton. 7 is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder again, and this is probably going to be a major reach. But I must say, the Oklahoma City Thunder would reach to take Greg Brown. You may be wondering, that's a stupid take. There's so many better prospects. I feel like the Thunder would take a risk on a guy with so much upside, Greg Brown, and his high athleticism. And I feel like the Thunder just need a big really badly, and I feel like he could be a really nice big that they could potentially give a lot of minutes to, like they did with Poku, who was decided as a really raw prospect. I wouldn't think they would go super raw like Usman Garuba or something like that. But Greg Brown's ability to play the 3 to 5, his athletic ability, and his availability to play guard and be versatile could be really nice for this Thunder young core. With the 8th overall pick, I got the Orlando Magic taking Zaire Williams out of Stanford. Yeah, you may say they basically have a versatile wing in Jonathan Isaac, but what's wrong with having 2? Aaron Gordon has not been looking like he's committed to being with Orlando and coming off an injury. I think you could replace him with an even younger, high upside wing who hopefully could develop to what Paul George has become. And if not, if you get like 80% of that, you'll be ecstatic about that if you're an Orlando fan. You have so many young pieces, and adding even more could be super special. I can't take a center because there's no really good young centers there to take. You got a really good point guard. I don't think you need to settle between that with Markelle Fultz and Cole Anthony. I think getting another wing next to Jonathan Isaac could be really scary, and with his athleticism and hopefully developed offensive game, if he's able to continue to develop that when he gets to the pros, he could be really scary. Number 9 goes to the Atlanta Hawks, and they're going to be taking James Bouknight out of UConn. All I gotta say to this guy is that this guy is a bucket. He knows how to score in any way possible, and that could be really good at that shooting guard spot. That I feel like that's the only position the Hawks really aren't 100% sure about that. I'm pretty sure they're confident in Trae Young, Clint Capella, hopefully John Collins if he resigns. If not, then you got Onyeka Okongwu, and then you got DeAndre Hunter. I feel like the shooting guard's the only questionable spot. If Cam Reddish is going to develop to be that breakout star, Kevin Huerter is really good enough to be on that squad to lift them up to be their highest potential. I think getting an absolute bucket getter in James Bouknight could be amazing, especially playing against a wing defender like DeAndre Hunter. They could complement each other really well. The 10th overall pick will belong to the New Orleans Pelicans, and they're selecting Moses Moody out of Arkansas. I get that there's a lot of guys with a much higher upside, but I think his elite level 3-point shooting could be really needed on this New Orleans Pelicans team, as you see Lonzo Ball only really thrive when he plays with someone who can really help him space out the floor. Zion Williamson needs floor spacers. Even Brandon Ingram, when he's trying to get his buckets, he's going to need a floor spacer just in case he gets double teamed. And Moses Moody is one of the best 3-point shooters in this class, arguably the best. There's still other competition like Corey Kispert, but Moses Moody is an elite 3-point shooter who's pretty young, and he's been able to hold his own against big dogs. And I feel like getting this type of 3-point shooter for the Pelicans, for Lonzo Ball, Zion Williamson, for the young core's development could be really important. And with the 11th pick, the Houston Rockets are going to be taking Keon Johnson out of Houston. He's a high motor guy who could be really nice to be that Victor Oladipo replacement once he leaves in free agency, you trade him, whatever, because you know Victor Oladipo is definitely not part of the future plans in Houston. And I feel like Keon just would be a nice replacement. He's a high motor guy who could use some work on his NBA skills to be NBA ready, but with his high motor and hard work ethic and just the high energy he brings, it could be really nice to have a guy who just has that type of motor. And if he continues to put in the hard work, he's going to be a top prospect in this draft class, because you can just see the aggressiveness he puts on the court, his ability to drive strong. He's a pretty good athlete, and that high motor is just going to get him somewhere in the NBA. I already know that. At number 12, I got the Chicago Bulls selecting Sharife Cooper out of Auburn. Yeah, I probably was a little bit too low on him. His stock has risen up so high this year. He's having an amazing college year. And I feel like the Bulls, they just don't need any really major positions right now. They're good, have a young player from the 1 through the 5, so I think you're just going to take best talent available, and that's definitely Sharife Cooper. He's kind of undersized, but he's a quick point guard who's crafty with the ball. He's a pretty nice playmaker. He has a pretty good jump shot, to be honest. And he's able to find the teammates open and just make winning plays, in my opinion. And I feel like those winning plays and being able to be that crafty could take him really somewhere in the NBA. You see a lot of these short, crafty point guards. Yes, height means a lot in the NBA, but you also see these short, crafty point guards like Chris Paul. If he can somehow turn into a Chris Paul type player, that would be amazing. But you see Isaiah Thomas was balling out. You even see Campazzo being a really good role player as a short, crafty guard. I feel like these type of guards could be really important, especially if he's able to continue to be a playmaker. That would be really nice, going off of Kobe White's bucket getting mentality. Third team, we got the New York Knicks selecting Scottie Barnes out of Florida State. He's a versatile forward who can easily take that small forward spot over probably whoever Kevin Knox thinks he is. I thought he was going to be such a stud. I was so wrong. But he's super physical, he's super athletic, and he's just going to be that big forward that you're just going to really need, as he's able to guard a lot of positions. He can guard a couple guards. He can definitely guard forwards, and he can certainly guard the bigs for how physical he can really be. And he's able to finish above the rim. He's willing to run, sprint the floor, go in transition. And he's not really a three-point shooter or a shooter at all, but he's able to play great defense, be aggressive on the inside, and attack the rim. And having that attacking mentality could be really nice. And just that aggressiveness to willing to play defense, I think Thibs would love him on the squad. And finally, the Memphis Grizzlies will take Brandon Boston out of Kentucky. And yes, Brandon Boston's stock has been falling, but I feel like he still has super high upside as an automatic bucket getter. And his three-point shot has actually been getting really better ever since he was getting bashed upon because of his awful three-point shooting earlier. He's been shooting a little bit more consistently lately. I feel like he's able to continue that. He could be a really nice two guard, as him, Ja, and JJJ could be a really nice trio for the future. But what do you guys think about this mock draft? Who do you think I left off that should have been on here? What would you replace? Make sure to drop a like, comment below any of the videos you want to do. Don't subscribe to the channel. Peace out, guys.